Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 188 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is my second year ever running officially. Within the first full year of running, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days out of the year. So this year will be a 100% step up in the amount of days, not to even mention in a row, going for 365, as well as a 50% step up in the amount of miles compared to last year's 1,500 compared to just the 1,000. So also within this time frame, I've challenged myself to run two major races, one being a 50K trail race that in Yankee Springs, Michigan. I was able to finish that one, actually. It was done on June 5th. Got that one finished in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, so officially am a ultra runner. And was able to continue the streak of running days even after running that 31 miles, which I think was even a bigger feat than doing the 31 miles. I also am running a actual marathon that is coming up in October. That is the Detroit Free Press Marathon. I am running the Motor City Challenge with that. That is the 1 mile, competitive 1 mile, the 5K the day before, and then the following day after running those two races, I will be running the actual marathon. Like I said, that is in October. Really looking forward to that, and I'm kind of in mid-training for that now that we got that other race out of the way. So other than that, let's just kind of talk about the day today being day 188. For mileage today, I was able to get out there and I put in 6.7 miles for the day. That put me at 16.2 miles for the week, which puts me at 41.9 miles for the month, which put me at 843 miles even for the year. Real quickly, let's focus on these monthly miles being 41.9. Every single month, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge, and I do it in honor of a charity in which I donate money, and I start a fundraiser that coincides with the 100-mile challenge I'm running in order to raise awareness and try to raise money as well for that charity. Every single month so far, this first 6 months, we were able to raise money for 6 great charities. Now we're sitting here in the 7th month, and the month of July, the 100-mile challenge for July is in honor of the Detroit Phoenix Center. And what they do is they help rehabilitate homeless and any kind of youth that are kind of homeless or need help with finding a home or education, anything like that. So it's kind of any youth that doesn't have a place to live. They try to help find a place to live, help them find a place where they can shower, get clean, help them find a place where they can start working, get a job, maybe get back into school. So it's trying to really help the youth homeless within the Detroit area. Anywhere, I think, from age 13 to 26 is what they work with. So that is what this fundraiser this month is about. If you'd like to donate to this month's fundraiser, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story or Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram or Facebook story. Within those stories, on the top of the story, it'll say donate on Facebook. You click on that, it'll open up the Facebook link where you're able to make your donations. All donations that get made go directly to this fundraiser. Facebook is not taking any percentage. That's why we continue to do the fundraiser through Facebook, because they've made the agreement not to take any cut of the actual funds that get raised. So now that we kind of talked about that, I do know times are tough and not everyone is able to donate. If you're not able to make a donation and you'd still like to help out, the best thing you can do is just click that share button Put it on your page so people can see it. It really helps out a lot just getting eyes on it. Even if they don't donate and we don't raise a lot of money, we're just trying to raise awareness to let people know that this is out there, what it's about. Let them know what the cause is about, So we're really trying to do that. And then maybe once they kind of even learn about it, maybe they will be more open in order to make a donation. Maybe not this one, but maybe further down the line when they go to make a donation, they'll be like, oh, I remember that one fundraiser that worked with this, whatever the case is this month, it being the youth homeless within the Detroit area. Maybe someone will want to donate to that further down the line, and they'll remember it from you sharing it. So just click that share button. Even if you have donated, click that share button. It helps out tremendously just to get it out there so people can see it. So that is the fundraiser for the month of July, guys. We've talked about the miles quickly one more time. 6.7 for the day, 16.2 for the week, 41.9 for the month, and 843 for the year. Every single day now, I've been trying to really focus on trying to read at least 30 minutes a day and work on a word of the day and talk about it, because I've been trying to, one, become a better reader, because it's something that I've struggled with for almost my whole entire life, and two, not only become a better reader, but I want to become a better speaker, a better communicator, and expand my vocabulary. So in order to do that, I've been trying to do words of the day as well, with the reading of 30 minutes a day. I am disappointed to actually say that I did not read yet again. I think now it's like the 5th day in a row. I need to really get back on it. I maybe try to read a little bit here tonight, even though it's getting late, and it's probably going to take me a while to upload this. But I'm going to try to get some tonight, especially get some done tomorrow, and get into this second chapter in the book I am reading, which is Jordan Peterson's Beyond Order. It is the second book in his 12 Rules for Life series. This one is more focused on the chaos aspect, when the first book, 12 Rules for Life, is kind of more focused on the order aspect. So it's a really good book so far. The first chapter, it was a really good chapter, and very excited to continue on. I just really need to focus on it. And especially reading with him, I know one thing, like I said, it takes me, reading in general, it's hard for me, but reading with him, for me to really grasp the concept, sometimes I have to really sit there and slowly read it and try to absorb it. So it takes me a little bit longer to read his books. So, anywho, that is the book. Let's talk about the word of the day real quick. So the word of the day is incumbent, which is the holder of an office or one that occupies a particular position or place. See, I've actually know this word, heard this word, understand this word, but as you can tell, I've never used it before because I can't even pronounce it right, even though it's like in the back of my mind. Incumbent. So that is the word of the day, incumbent. Now, since I am the incumbent of this podcast, let's get in. I don't think I used that properly. I mean, maybe, yes. I'm the incumbent host of this podcast. Let's get into today's episode 188. I have nothing written down, nothing special. This is something, though I wanted to talk about a while ago, but I wanted to wait till I got, a decent chunk into the year. We're, a little bit over halfway, halfway I think was day 182, 183. So we're only 5 days past that, 6 days past that. But it's something I wanted to talk about earlier, but really wanted to wait a little bit longer to get farther into the year in order to talk about this, so it could actually gain a little bit more weight. And so let's actually just get into it. And that theme for today, the thing I am talking about for episode 188, it is consistency. Now, I wanted to talk about consistency because consistency is where you're going to really find yourself and find the flaws and find the things you need to work on. When you get out there, it's something that I found out recently with doing this running every single day and being consistent with my running. Getting out there, every day isn't perfect. Every day isn't going to be easy. Some days have been harder than others. Some days I haven't wanted to get out there. But the main thing that I've been trying to be, you know, hammered down is this consistency. Even if I don't want to get out there, just getting out there and putting in the miles. And the goal was to do at least 1.5 miles per day. And towards the beginning of the year when I started this, there was a little bit more days that were the 1.5 mile days. And then I realized I'm just gonna start doing 5Ks and start really trying to be consistent with that. So then I think maybe April or May or something like that, I started just doing 5Ks every day. That was the bare minimum. Instead of going down to the 1.5 miles, sticking with the 3 miles until I had to actually taper. But I've been trying to stay really consistent. And like I said, too, even when you try to stay consistent, there's going to be things that throw you off. There's going to be things that are going to make it harder some days and make it easier other days. And you really got to be ready for both and try to keep a level head when either happens. The easier days, you can really blow through them, and you kind of want to try to relish it and not just go through it too fast, especially if we're going to talk about the training, actually, about me running, my training, the easy days. If I go too easy, if it's an easy day and I'm supposed to keep it easy, the next thing I notice, I'm going faster than I have to just because my body is ready for it. Versus a hard day where I don't even want to be out there, and it's a complete struggle for one to me even get out there. And then two, once I'm out there, it's like, when am I going to get home? Sometimes I can overdo it then too, and I've been trying to really stay consistent with keeping my training at a nice level where I'm able to get out there every single day and keep it consistent. Because like I said, there's going to be days when I'm out there and they suck and I don't want to be out there, but I got to push through it and be able to push through it. And once I always push through it and I get to the end of that workout, the days that I don't want to be out there or the days that it sucks. Honestly, I'm so much more grateful and thankful. And usually when I get back, I feel so much better from than when I actually started. Usually I'm in a bad mood, or I'm tired, or I just don't feel good. I'd rather do something else. And I force myself to get out there, and then sometimes when I'm out there, like I said, I'm still tired. I'm still kind of in that bad mood, but I really kind of get in my head where I only can think about things. And by the time I get back and my heart's pumping and my blood's flowing through my body, it just seems like everything not necessarily gets fixed, but a lot of those bad feelings kind of go away. And it all comes with the consistency. And I wanted to talk about consistency really, guys, today, because it's something that I think that we all truly like to tell ourselves we are when we aren't. And that was something that I did for a very, very long time. I'm consistent. I did this. I do this. I do this. Yes. No, I do this. I do this. But really, I never did. And then even when you try new things and you don't like it, or, for instance, I tell people I run, or I try to get people to run, and they say, well, I don't like running. I've tried running. And then you ask them, well, how many times have you tried running? I went one time and I didn't like it. So, how do you know what you like? You can't just try something one time and then have a full out life opinion on something. Yeah, I hated running my whole entire life. It wasn't until I pushed myself past that threshold of it's really sucking at the beginning, and then once you get past that, it's like with anything, it's practice, it's consistency. The more you're consistent with something, the easier things are going to get for you. The more you're going to have to challenge yourself, because you need that challenged in order to continue to develop within it. And in order to develop, like I said, you're going to develop within that consistency. But like I said, I think being consistent is something that we always tell ourselves that we are, when we're truly not being consistent. Yes, consistent. There's so many times within my life, even with certain things, like I had bad psoriasis, and would always get certain topical medication and always claim it never works. It never works. It never works. And you know what? It never did work, but I also would only give it maybe a week or so of trying it before I just gave up on it, because that's was my mentality was, if I didn't see results right away, I gave up. Instead of being consistent with something, if I didn't see the results, I gave up. And I think that is the mentality that a lot of us have. I think if we don't see results right away, we give up instead of being consistent and just going out there and putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work. And if you truly look at all the greats in any field, no matter what it is, the one thing that they have in common is they're consistent. They are out there every day putting in the work, to be better at whatever it is they're trying to be better at. It is all about consistency. It's about the practice. It's about putting in the work, being consistent with what you do or what you want to do. And that is something I've been trying to really, really be better with this year. Like I said, especially with my running, as you can tell, I have been pretty damn consistent. Running 188 days in a row. That's not too bad. But yes, there are things that I can still get better at with being more consistent. For example, the reading, like I said, I need to be able to make that more of a habit, where it's a more consistent habit, where I'm doing it on a daily basis, just like my running. And it's almost embedded into my daily routine, just like this running is now. It's so weird to think, back last year when I was taking days off, and I got to 1,000 miles in 175 days out of the year, out of 365 days, but I only ran 175 days out of those 365 days, and I had lots of rest days in between, as you can tell, because I didn't even run half a year. And but I was able to get 1,000 miles within that time frame, and now, I'm just under 1,000 miles, but I've ran 188 days in a row. It's just so weird to think how many more ailments and things I was going through last year, like knee problems, and it was my first year running. I get that, and I was trying to get my body in shape, but it's just so weird how me just staying consistent even last year with my running and my training, but being now even more consistent and really dialing into my running, how everything seems to be flowing a little bit better. Like I said, it just seems everything seems to be hitting in the groove. And that's something I've been very, very grateful for. So I've been trying to stay consistent with my running, daily running, and been trying to stay consistent within life, just trying to become a better person consistently and trying to make better decisions consistently. So consistency is a major thing if you want to be great or if you want to develop and be better. You need to be consistent in trying to be better, and that is something I am working on a daily basis. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk about today for today's episode, was just consistency in general, sticking to a plan and being consistent with it. So for that reason, your daily discipline, guys, is whatever it is you want to be, you must be consistent at doing it. Whatever your goal is, doesn't matter if it's a training goal, a business goal, maybe it's a goal where you want to win over someone's heart. I don't even know. There's so many things that you could be wanting and wishing for and hoping for in this life. Or there's things that you could be actually going out there and putting in the work for every single day, and consistent work. Put in the work consistently if you want to see the results. So for your daily discipline, it is to get out there today. Start it consistently. Get out there. Work, 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 work. What is it you want? What is the end result you want? Put in the consistency to get there. Okay? And then once you get there, move the bar up and put in the work to get there. And then once you get there, move the bar up and continue being consistent, consistently moving that bar up and hitting your goals and hitting it. But you got to be consistent in getting even to that first one. So that is your daily discipline for the day. It is to be consistent in what you are trying to achieve. Other than that, guys, I do want to close this out. It is getting late. It's almost 11 p.m. and I got to get this uploaded. 20-minute episode. We'll see how fast I can get it. Hopefully we get it in before midnight. So I want to thank you so much for following along and listening. I am your host, Scott. This is the Defining Discipline Podcast. If you guys can, please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok, our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been following along and listening on. Other than that, if you guys can, please remember, hit that share button on the July 100-mile challenge fundraiser, as well as if you can, hit that donate button. Give us donations, anything, 5, 10, whatever you can afford. Everything is greatly appreciated, and everything goes to a great cause. So remember that. So for the month of July, get those donations and click that share button out there for the Detroit Phoenix Center. Other than that, again, thank you so much for following along and listening. I am your host, Scott. This is episode 188 of the Defining Discipline Podcast. Make sure you guys get out there, get your daily discipline done, and make sure you guys stay disciplined. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 189. Thanks so much. Peace out.